You said yes again, and you already hate yourself for it. The message arrived at 4:47 p.m. asking for one more task before tomorrow. Your chest tightened before you finished reading the second line. You typed, "Sure, no problem anyway," and your shoulders dropped about half an inch. The shoulders drop, but the tightness in your chest does not follow. On the walk to the elevator, you run the small math. What you gave up tonight, what you moved, what you silently canceled. This is not about one task. This is a pattern where the guilt of refusing always costs more than the exhaustion of agreeing. Something is making no feel genuinely dangerous to you, and it did not start today. You are not someone who cannot handle pressure. You rehearsed the word no in the bathroom mirror, and it sounded completely reasonable. Then the message arrived and the rehearsed version dissolved before you typed a single character. The guilt of refusing existed before any refusal ever happened. The refusal you never sent already cost you something. You spent 20 minutes composing a polite decline and then deleted every word without sending it. What remained was a specific, quiet shame that had nothing to do with the task at all. There is a reason this keeps happening, and that reason has a shape. Workplaces train people that availability equals value without ever saying it out loud. Every time a yes produced visible relief on a colleague's face, your brain filed that as evidence you were needed. The guilt of no is not a character flaw, but it is a reward system that ran unnoticed for years. Most people carry this loop for an entire career without once naming what it actually is. The accumulation is not dramatic. It is a Tuesday at 6:14 p.m. when you realize you have not eaten since breakfast, and there are still 3 yes replies sitting open in your drafts. The mask does not slip in those moments, which is the worst part. You smile through the email and close your laptop and feel nothing, which is what nothing starting to win actually looks like. The next time a request lands and your fingers move toward yes before you have thought, pause for 5 full seconds. Say nothing. Type nothing. Those 5 seconds are not rudeness. They are the only gap between your real answer and the automatic one. The guilt you feel in that gap is old. It is not information about this moment. After the moment has passed, write down exactly what you agreed to and what it cost you in real time. Not a feelings journal. 1 line. What was asked, what you said, what you actually had on your plate already. Seeing it written strips the guilt of its invisibility. You cannot argue with a list that shows your capacity was already full. If you do both of those things consistently, something specific starts to shift within a few weeks. The guilt does not disappear, but it stops arriving before you have even made a decision. You begin to notice a half-second gap between the request and the automatic yes. And in that gap, you realize your answer is actually a choice. The exhaustion that felt permanent starts to have edges you can name, which means it has edges you can change. There is still one layer underneath all of this that most people never reach. Guilt shrinks fastest when you decide your limits before the requests arrive. Every Sunday evening, take 5 minutes to write down one thing you will not take on this week. Not a rule, a single line on a page. That line exists before anyone asks, so the ask is not what creates the boundary. The second habit lives at the start of every one-on-one meeting, before the agenda begins. You say one sentence out loud. My capacity this week is already at its limit. Not a complaint. A fact stated before the ask. People can only respect a boundary they know exists. Saying no has never actually been the problem. The problem is that somewhere along the way, you learned that your comfort mattered less than other people's convenience. That is not a personality trait. That was a lesson. Lessons can be unlearned. And next, we look at why your coworker's bad mood becomes yours without you ever agreeing to carry it.